post say?
That bitch was tight.
Was it good? Great. Do you have any plans?
Hello everybody, Excited Utterance here. My name is Hella. And yeah, that was a quick transition from the last stream to this stream if you were here for the last one. I don't think I've ever done a transition so fast. It's like Superman in the phone booth and then out again, like that, and changed all the clothes and everything just like that. And so here we are. The Nick Godejohn Story, not the Gypsy Rose Story. No. And we are back. We are back and we are live. We are live. And we said bye-bye to Sean. He's gone off to have some dinner. Wasn't that fun, the last stream? Whew. Fun and games. Yes, Seraph. Seraph's over there. Hello, Seraph. Meow. Seraph's all like, what's going on? Okay, so hello, I'm bronzed. Hello, Ginger. How are you? Ginger, were you here for the last stream? It's good to see you from Canada. And Melinda Kraft is here from Germany, and Christina's here. And Silnat, oh, it's so good to have you. Lovely, lovely to have you. First time round for you, Ginger. Ah, wonderful. You found me on X. That's lovely to hear. Lovely to hear. Okay, so let's get into it. Oh, you were unprepared for a full-frame Gypsy Rose face. Look, none of us are ever prepared for that. Ever prepared for that. And J-Rock is here. J-Rock, hello. Good to have you back. Good to have you back. Were you here for the chili stream just now? Because it was nuts. It was nuts, I tell ya. Nuts. Alrighty. And Sean is great, isn't he? He is. Him and Dina are just like family now. They are the best. Okay. So today we are going to watch a video that I have found has become available to me that I have not seen in full before. And if you remember from the trial that we watched Gavel to Gavel on this channel, the trial was of Nick Godejohn. And remember how Gypsy Rose, she testified in the trial, but she didn't have a trial because remember, she pled out. She pled and she got 10 years prison for second-degree murder of her mother. And of those 10 years, she managed to get out after only 8 years. And that's why she's out living her best life. Can't stop me now. What is it? I'm living my best life. And you can't take that from me. And the D is fire. I always like the way, like she says, you can't take that from me, but she's on parole. So actually that can be taken from her. That's the whole meaning of parole. If she messes up, it can be taken from her. Yeah, can't bring me down. Yeah, can do. I'm good, FlashFan85. How are you? Unfortunately, I missed it, but we'll watch it tonight. Oh, yeah. You especially need to see Sean's rant at the end because Sean comes in at the end and has a massive rant. It was funny. Hello, Ronnie. And the fire Ds are out. Okay, so if you saw the trial of Nick Godejohn, there was a part in the trial that at the time I said, I think that is the nail in his coffin. And it was when the prosecution put forth an exhibit, and the exhibit was him talking to a reporter from jail. Not good. It was not good for him. He spoke to this reporter and they clipped just a bit of it, only about 5 minutes of this interview that he did. on the jail phone, sitting there through the glass. And in this piece to this reporter, he spoke about the decision-making process, like when he was actually standing there next to Dee Dee, and he spoke about, you know, how he said that he had the two voices, like on, like kind of like the devil on one shoulder and the angel or something on the other shoulder. And that really spoke to his premeditation in that moment. So I think that really was the moment that got him, sadly. But I have the rest of the video, so the rest of the interview to watch. And I think that it's going to be really interesting to look at it and sort of evaluate, especially because we've got quite a few people in chat who know a fair bit about Asperger's syndrome and autism, things that he's been diagnosed with. And we can have a little bit of a look, and we can pause as we go through, and we can have a discussion about how he seems to have been affected in his reasoning by the manipulation of Gypsy Rose. And yeah, we can just see, because the jury didn't see it all. They only saw a little bit, right? And of course, he wasn't well represented by his counsel, and he did not have a proper expert witness. And that is why hopefully he will be granted an appeal, although it's not looking too good right now. Yeah. All right. Hello, Atheist Ant. Good to see you. Alrighty, let's go. So we have, oops, just a minute. Screen. Okay, sharing that, and we'll go like that. Excuse my disorganization. I just came from doing another stream. Oh, there we go. Okay, and I'll just make sure that the sound is up nice and loud for you. Cool. Alrighty, and
migraine mainly to get my
so there
voice
he
heard
is.
because...
And do I have closed captions? Yes, I do. Okay, cool. So there he is, looking through the sort of plexiglass in the prison. And he's talking to a reporter.
Need, so yeah, that's why.
Hey, Shell Marie.
That basically letting know the viewers who I really am and not who I am not. So, due to how everyone seems to be betraying me in such a negative light as of late, I feel that it's only fair that my voice gets out there to give a more accurate image of myself. Well, for me, I'm more of, that was the way I was brought up. I was raised more as a person full of anger, honor and integrity. Not only that, originally, whether it was my father, my mom, or anyone really in my family, any of my superiors, mainly ones who were older than me, they all basically rose me to have respect, honesty, all those things a noble person normally is supposed to have.
Yep, great success.
Of course, due to one of my my main mental disability, it's quite easy for me to be deceived, unfortunately.
Okay, so he says, oops, hang on. He says, due to my main disability, it's quite easy for me to be deceived. And he also said that my parents, it's cute the way he said rose me. My parents rose me to have, what is it, respect?
Due to the disability things and superiors,
the family and my
ones
superiors.
Who were older than me, they all basically rose me to have respect, honesty, all those things a noble person normally is supposed to have.
All the things a noble person is supposed to have.
Of course, due to one of my my main mental disability, it's quite easy for me to be deceived,
Mm.
unfortunately. Uh,
And I think that it's kind of ironic because the reporter is sort of deceiving him in a way, because well, not really. I mean, the reporter wouldn't have said that this footage, this audio, etc., might go to court. Like, it would have been, surely he would have known that anything that he said in jail could have ended up going to court. But I just, like, we all know his intelligence is not very high. So he has the intelligence of about a 12-year-old or so. Who's to know? Like, does he really understand that what he's saying, everything he's saying, can become an exhibit in court? And it did, unfortunately. That was scripted, Atheist Dan. I don't know. Maybe.
uh, the main reason this all even transpired was basically due to the love that I felt that was equally shared between me and Gypsy Blanchard. However, I've learned that as of late that she may have just been using me, which is sad because I felt it was much more real than that at the time. Actually, as for the illnesses part, I found that out almost shortly after me and her first started talking on Facebook, which went from a Christian dating site known as ChristianDatingForFree.com, and we were on there for maybe a few days, and then went from there to, next thing you know, Facebook. And it's really weird because I went from just trying to get to know her on one site to being willing to pretty much open myself up like a full open book, to where once we got to the other one, and I'm still confused on why that happened that way, but it did. And when it happened that way, I almost instantly learned about the medications. Of course, I learned that not all of them are actually fully what she was actually supposed to be taking. Most of them are all just stuff that her mom was forcing her to take that was by far not needed. I did feel as if Gypsy was going through trauma, whether it was the abuse with medication, or the abuse of being forced to be staying in a chair, or even the abuse of her being stuck in a room for so long because her mom would be doing things in a physical abusive way, like chaining her to the bed, or even other physical abuse, like her being beaten with really anything her mom could find. And all this stuff I felt shouldn't transpire. I felt like as if, unfortunately, I didn't think anyone would come to her call. And if she tried to go to the police, they would have, due to the way that her mom was making her betray to look as, she would have basically looked as like a lunatic that no one would believe, due to what her mom would be putting in everyone else's head. So she felt like it was a non-escapable path upon it, and she needed someone to understand her enough to be willing to basically risk their life for her, which is unfortunate that that had to go the way it did, because originally I wanted to just run away with her, but she kept on persisting on this alternative thing that really didn't seem to pan out in the way that it never was obviously meant to.
No. Okay. So that's actually a point. So he wanted to just run away with her, but she kept insisting on this thing that didn't really pan out in the way that it was meant to. Okay, so hang on a minute. Plan A was get the mum to like him. That didn't work. Plan B was stabby the mum. Plan C was get pregnant, but it went plan A, C, B. Remember, they weren't good list makers, right? So plan C happened before plan B, and they did the try to get pregnant thing. That didn't work because they only managed to do it once, and he couldn't ejaculate, I think was the thing. I think that was the problem. And because they were only together a little bit, like a couple of days. And that was the whole thing in the at the movies. Yeah. So that didn't work. But then there's like this whole idea of them just running away together. I don't get why that wasn't a possibility. So he's talking about there being this possibility of them running away together, but her insisting on the unaliving. So what went wrong there? Why was it such a big deal that the mum just had to go? I don't get it. Why did plan B, which should have been plan C, have to go ahead? I don't know.
Yep. Since she had warned me that she's tried it twice before, and she's only mentioned one of those times in the media. The other, apparently she almost got close to killing her mother, but however, she couldn't do it. She was attempting to do it mainly for someone that she had an infatuation with, and, well, she found out later that it was just infatuation, but yet the person keeps using her to this day, so yeah, it's very sad. Well, it's unfortunate because it's the way that she was brought up. She was brought up to lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. She was brought up to basically play the victim role. That's the way she was brought up. She's only doing what she was taught. Believe me, she was brought up in a much more better environment, much more better people around her. Not just her mom, I was around her. I was pretty much holding her down for who she could really be. I can almost guarantee she would have never asked me that dreadful question.
Hang on. Yes, Shell Marie. So is that her attempt with the BB gun and infatuation and Dan? I believe so, unless there was some other incident. So yes, he's talking. So when he mentioned that she tried to kill the mum, there was a situation with a BB gun where she tried to shoot the mum, and this hasn't been talked about enough. This could have been brought up in his defense. Also, if there was, I don't know if it would have just been hearsay or not. It could have just been hearsay. But there could have been witnesses to this as well who could have attested to it. But yeah, apparently she tried to shoot at her, and there was supposedly just like dummy rounds in there, kind of a la Hannah Gutierrez. But then there wasn't. So yeah, that's what she's tried. She tried before to off the mum. Yeah. So yeah, it's very interesting. And yes, atheist, and this experience was probably like real world Dungeons and Dragons to him. It probably took a very long time to be real for him. In fact, he kept talking about Gypsy for a long time. He kept saying, "What's wrong? Where's Gypsy? I only care about Gypsy. I just want to make sure Gypsy's okay." It took him quite a while to get his head around the fact that Gypsy didn't love him, and that that she basically thrown him under the bus, that this wasn't real, that she didn't love him. So he was heartbroken. And you can still tell, like in the other interview, the 2009, I think it was, 2019 Oxygen interview, you can see, like, when he looks at the camera, he's very hurt still, very heartbroken. When he talks about the sort of 5 or so days that they had together, said they were the best days of his life. He was just so happy when he was with her. It was the most amazing thing. And you could see, like, he still holds some sort of, in his heart, he's still in love with her. Yeah, it totally broke me the first time I watched the interviews. Yeah. Only thing that, with her living her life free, I'm so sad that his mother passed away, but at least she doesn't have to see her flaunting her riches and her life like this, because it's, imagine his mom seeing that now. All right, let's keep going.
It's a severely unfortunate situation, because even now, even after she basically is admitting to everyone in the media that she was basically using me to get rid of her mother, which is very, very, very not only evil thing to even admit right on national television, which I still to this day, well, I kind of wish he would have admitted earlier, because, well, I was mainly the one person who was trying to make her a better person, while her mom was trying to keep her the way that she was. And that's part of the reason why now I feel it's more of a slap in the face. Because, yeah, it's one of those situations where you feel that you have done all you could for the person, and if the person doesn't want to feel appreciation towards you for all you tried to do for them, then I guess it's one of those stones you gotta throw into the water and move forward, unfortunately. You make it as if loosen the load that you're having to hold upon. It's basically an analogy, it's basically what I'm using. However, now I been slowly and trying the best I can to heal from the situation, and from everything I have been trying to get over and get through. It's been a rough road. I will not deny it has not been. It has. But I know that within time always heals. So I'm hopeful that it will. That's the thing with me, is that I feel, has actually, it's sad, it's so sad. She, yes, maybe about the same amount I was maybe trying to attend to get. I'm still trying to get 15, and that's where I still stand. I'm still trying to get that. I would have been happy if me and her would have gotten the same exact amount of time. I'm not one of those people where I'm going to be trying to wish her a life sentence or any crap like that, like she did to me. I'm not a conniving person like that. It's just not in my blood. It's not in my genetics. It's not who I am. That's part of the reason why when she does what she does, I can't blame her. I can only understand that that's the way she was brought up. But me personally, if we would have both gotten 15, I would have felt it was fair. Since she's gotten 10 and I'm still trying to at least get 15, really, yeah, exactly. It's a pretty hard road to get to that point, but God willing, it should for sure happen.
What? Did he just say he's trying to get 15 years?
I think for the plea bargain.
Oh,
They wanted
Nick.
30.
Nick. That's not how it works. It's so sad. It's just, we've seen this so many times, unfortunately, and he wouldn't know. Like, most people don't know how this works. You have to sort of be familiar with, like, watching court or being involved with courts to know. But they pick a villain.
Yeah.
They pick a villain, especially in these high-profile cases. They pick a villain so that they can put someone in prison and blame somebody. And Gypsy wasn't the right villain because she was loved by the public. She was the victim, right? So everyone felt sorry for Gypsy because she was abused by the mother. She was the victim of this Munchausen by proxy syndrome. And whilst, she was involved in it, people still were sorry for her. And then they saw this one, this Nick, come along, and he was the big bad man who came along and murdered the mother. And it was very simple to cast this narrative about him being the one who did the work, did the stabby, and let's let Gypsy off with the lightest sentence possible and put him away for life. 30-year plea, that was the lowest that they were ever going to go. They were never going to go any lower than that. I'm surprised they even offered that, to be honest. I'm surprised. So what was his sentence? Life without parole in the end, Ronnie. He got life without parole. Yeah. And he's sitting there thinking, at this time, he's sitting there thinking that he was going to get a plea closer to Gypsy's. But no, that was never going to happen. That was never going to happen. Everyone read. Hey, what my am I? And welcome to chat. If this would have been a hitman or hitwoman, Gypsy would have got anywheres from 30 to life. Yes, true. Look, if she hadn't had been in the media, if she hadn't had been seen as this victim of her mother's, if she hadn't have had her head shaved and had the feeding tube and been in the wheelchair and had this tiny voice and not known her age and all this kind of thing, if there hadn't have been that narrative leading up, I don't think that she would have been treated anywhere near as kindly by the prosecution. But this happened. Yeah. And so I think because the public felt a certain way about her, the prosecution didn't want to give her this, that they didn't want to be seen as treating her like a criminal. And so they had to have a criminal, and they had one ready-made. There he is, ready-made criminal. Also abuse, that is the only way she got the sentence she did. Don't screw me, please. I did stab my mum. Nicholas did it. And she's still saying it to this day. Yeah. She's still saying it to this day. I didn't do it. There's such a thing as accessory to murder. It's just in Missouri, they don't have that. So they had to go with second-degree murder. But you know what? I'm not the one who did it. Nick's the one who did it. It's in the name of the charge. It's murder. You're a murderer, lady. Stop saying you didn't do it. Hello, Lildred. Good to see you. And old Sadie, hi. Nice to see you. This is all too familiar. Did the same, wade through the waters day after day, waiting for a fair trial for BD. What's BD? I hope he gets something positive out of attempts at appeals. Look, I hope so too, old Sadie. I'm not that hopeful, just having had one of our lawyer friends come on stream and have a look at his appellate brief. But I pray for him. I really do. Nice to have you in chat. Not feeling sorry for her at all. No, not many people are. Who would be regretting it now? The prosecution? No.
No.
The prosecutors don't regret anything. That's all they put people in jail. As long as they put people in prison. All right, let's keep going.
Well, there's two parts of it. One, I was planning on using my mental disability, which is clearly documented from multiple psychiatrists and ones who have studied psychology. So really, I mean, I have a therapist from when I was 15 years old who said because they had family member who was one with Asperger's syndrome, they were the first ones who mentioned when I was 15 years old that I had that and I didn't have the more form of that is severe of autism. I didn't have that. And I didn't have anything less either. So really, with that being said, I learned of that term, and then I ended up having to look it up to learn more about certain patterns and everything else. And once I learned about it, I started noticing things about myself that did match in with it. And then the next time it happened was in 2009 when I was trying to receive Social Security benefits from SSI. And I was accepted on that too because the psychiatrist that the state hired of Wisconsin could not find anything of me faking it or anything else because it was just really how I was.
Oh,
And
tragic.
That's two of them.
Okay. Tragic, haven't you already gifted some memberships today?
Yeah.
You're a legend. Thank you so much. I can't see chat right now. Can you see it, Dali?
Yeah, just give me a sec.
Cool. Just read out the names of the lucky gifted people. Everyone's gifted, but you know, people who got gifted memberships.
Lil Redo,
Red.
Ag Biochemist, Hospice
Oh, yeah.
Jess, Norma Jean Doyle, not a Normie.
Yep.
And Donut.
Donna T.
Oh yeah, Donna T.
Yeah, Donna T. Welcome, new members, and thank you so much, Tragic. You are awesome, and you're such a fantastic mod. Thank you for posting all of those links to support Nick in prison. And look, yeah, again, you've already gifted memberships today. Thank you so much. Memberships really keep this channel going. I make pretty much zilch out of any ad revenue or anything like that. A little bit out of super chats, but the memberships, they really, really, really help. So thank you so much. And what I was just saying also is thank you for, you're a great mod. All of these links that Tragic's been posting, all this stuff about writing to Nick. He loves to receive emails, messages, and you can actually donate if you want to. You can send. Was it? There's a link here for how to put money on his commissary. It's here somewhere. Oh yeah, there's a petition. If you wouldn't mind, Tragic, if you haven't put it there already, there's something there about his commissary. Look, guys, there is a what do you call it? There's some fundraiser getting around, like a spot fund or something. I'm not sure about it. All I know is that if you send money to put it on his commissary through the prison, it definitely goes to him. So there's lots of people in the world who will tell you to put money on different fundraisers and stuff. Give you a tick? Sure, thank you. If you put it through the prison, you know it goes to him. If you really want to give money, you don't have to. Do whatever you like. But yeah, definitely. And there's also some erroneous information getting around about what his address is because he's at Potosi prison now. So that's all the correct information in chat. Cool. Do you guys think that Nick held back about the actual jabbings because the interrogation kept saying, you don't want to get Gypsy in trouble? He did say we. Potentially, yes. There are theories, and they make a bit of sense that Gypsy was involved in the stabbings, that he only stabbed her 4 times, but there were other incisions. So it's possible that Gypsy was not in the bathroom the entire time, that she may have been in the room and been involved, but we'll never know. He could have been holding back. He could have been protecting her from it. Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised. The only thing that would surprise me about that is he seems to have a really hard time lying. He's not very good at lying. Like whenever he starts to lie, he just like he crumbles and he starts telling the truth. He did it in his interrogation. He just like he started with the story and then he just like he just spilled. So and I think that might be it might be like someone said earlier, that people who have more severe Asperger's syndrome have trouble with like spinning lies because they're very literal. Yeah. So tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not an expert on this. Like to know where Dan was during all of this. Comic-Con guy. Maybe we can track his whereabouts. How are you, Lydia Jade? 1,111. Are there that many of you? Anyway, good to have you here, Lydia Jade. Welcome to chat. All right, let's keep going.
And then you move forward to 2015. And I believe it was December of that year, I ended up seeing another doctor, and then move forward in 2016, see another one. So they all of them have admitted I have it, but the prosecution's defense is trying to make it seem as if I only have level 1 when I actually have level 2, which requires some supervision. Not heavy supervision, just enough to where they're making sure I'm not getting into any trouble, basically. Which now I understand that now when it's been a bit too late. The second one would be basically manipulation. The second reason would be manipulation. Is I will not deny it because she's done it for so long to the entire public. And that's part of the reason why the public is having a hard time believing what she's saying. She was obviously trained by the very best before her mom unfortunately passed away. Her mom taught her very well how to basically master manipulation, master lying, master deceiving great audiences of people. And because of it, she knows what she's doing when she lies. Unfortunately, she's very, very good at it to the point where people won't know that she's lying to them just because she can do it without any conscience at all, which to this day boggles my mind. But because of that master of manipulation that she is able to do, she had no problems manipulating me into the situation. I wish I would have known it was more manipulation than love, because if I would have known that, I probably wouldn't have been in the situation I'm in. And I probably wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation.
No, you would not.
But yeah. The only regret I have is basically not seeing the signs that stuff was not in a good light to unfold. That's basically what I have mainly regrets of. The only thing I don't regret is getting her out of that situation. I regret, however, the way that I had to get her out of the situation, but I don't regret getting her out of it. If I would have been able to run away with her, I wouldn't have any regrets at all. But due to me finding out,
Okay, that's interesting.
well,
So
that she was used.
he that shows me he's still in love with her, because
Yeah.
he's like, okay, if I could have just run away with her, I definitely would have done that. So he's still saying that he wishes he could have run away with her. Like, even after he's found out all this stuff about her, even after he just said that she's so good at lying, she's so good at manipulating, she's this, she's that, but I still would have run away with her. Like, I still wish I could have run away with her. If like, I don't regret getting her out of that situation. I don't regret getting her out of that situation. So he still is pleased that he got her away from the mother.
Yeah.
He regrets the way he did it,
Yeah.
and he wishes he could have run away with her. So he's still like so enamored with her. He's
Sad.
Yeah.
To me, I maybe do regret putting my heart out there, but in another way, I don't regret it only because it has made me a stronger person. As they always say, no pain, no gain. So, yeah, it has made me a stronger person. I will say, however, that when it comes to the way I feel about her now, I still love her to this day. That's never going to change. I will always love her. I
There you
promised her
go.
that I would never change, that I was unconditionally love her. I always will. If she wanted to be friends with me, I'd be fine with it. If she didn't, then I'm fine with it too. I'm one of them type of people where I try to be as happy-go-lucky as possible. I try not to let everything bother me too easily. However, being in
No,
place like
still
I
not.
am, it's not easy to do. And well, even people in here ask how I stay so positive. I think for one, my mom's always told me before I ended up coming down here to Springfield and got stuck down here like I am now. She's always been telling me all the times that she was video visiting me up in Wisconsin that she's strong like I am and I can handle this and I'll be fine. And she basically was giving me the support I never had throughout almost my entire life. That emotional support I never thought I'd ever receive from her. So, yeah, that, and then you also have the support of my father, which to this day I still talk to every once in a while. So, uh, every little support I've gotten has been able to keep me from basically losing my mind, which every little support I have, I definitely appreciate. And I never take anything for granted, no matter how it comes in its form. I never do, because I know that.
So it's interesting. So, Sadie, thank you for that. So my autistic friend is so much like Nick. He's still in love with a woman who told him they would marry 20 years later. Her married, 4 kids. He thinks she will see how happy they were. My heart for my love. Yeah, my heart for Nick. Okay, so do we think, like, I mean, I'm just asking people who know, like, is this common to get sort of fixated on somebody for a long period of time and just not let go of it? Like,
that's kind of how I am, I guess.
yeah.
It is when I fall for somebody, it takes me a long time to get over them. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not like stalking them, but like I don't, or I can move
Really?
on
You're
with.
not stalking them, really?
I swear, officer. No, no. Well, I heal pretty quickly, but I just don't want to date for a long time after.
Right.
And I have no desire. To like just get over that whole thing, it takes a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Because
So
I mean,
I relate.
so like 20 years, for example, like, I mean, in that time, would like the person have other relationships and just not never get over that other person? Or
I still think about the girl I fell in love with when I was 22. I don't think we're gonna ever get together. She's married now, but
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm realistic about it.
Yeah. Yeah, very common. Yeah. Yeah, so sort of kind of like an infatuation, you know, like it's kind of just there in the back of your head.
Yeah.
It can be us. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was hard for me to realize the relationship was over. Yeah, I think that's I don't think that's like not normal, you know, like especially if it was an important relationship. Like for this guy, like it was 2 years. They had okay, for some people, having like a joint Facebook account is important. They had a joint Facebook account. And like I know that sounds like I'm making fun of it, but for like they were young people, it was the early 2010s or so, and that was a thing. Like, and you saw the messages, that the posts they put up on Facebook, like they were those really cringy, like I love you so much, everyone, to see what we have, we're so in love. They were those ones, right? And it was very public. The whole dating thing for them was really public. So for that to end, like I think there could be a bit of like humiliation as well, like that everyone knows that this happened, and yeah, like she broke his heart in a really like humiliating way as well. Like that can't be good.
Yeah.
Hey, old Sadie, coffee and open, relaxing, non-yelling chat. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet of you. Canadian $2. Thank you. That's very sweet. Yeah. Yes. Well, we're not yelling here. No yelling. None of that. Life lesson: if she doesn't know you are in a relationship, she can't dump you. What?
Well, he's not wrong.
True. His autism keeps him stuck in the time he was happy with Gypsy. Okay. Because he does talk about it a lot. Like, I mean, I haven't seen him talk a lot, but whenever I see him talk, he sort of goes back to that time. You're thinking too little with this. It's the idea of her and his fantasy of their relationship he's obsessed with. The actual decision to love every day would be beyond his grasp. Okay. Okay, so getting hyper-focused on something, I can't let it go. It just sticks with me. Okay, I've heard that too. No one's yelling.
Me.
Hey, you American loud person. I've seen it. I've had enough
Racist.
loud people today. We had the Chili de Castro stream earlier, so that was enough yelling for one day. Today,
Hey, I'm a constitutional scholar. Thank you very much.
Constitutional scholars right now. For those who missed the Chili de Castro stream earlier, yeah. Sorry for the slur on Americans, but that was a very loud American. Most Americans are lovely.
Thank you.
But this one, anyway, I'm sure he's gonna come back at me for that. But anyway, that was interesting. But this guy, he's so calm. Like, actually, it's interesting that you say that's calm and relaxing chat, because I feel like having a calm and relaxing chat, old Sadie, is kind of the thing you do with this guy. You know, like he is pretty calm. He's a nice dude. Like, he just seems like a nice kind of dude to have a chat with. Yeah, at least you live in a real place. So you say.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Every day, you never know if you'll be gone the next. It has to be one of those days where you take it as it comes and appreciate everything you can within that day, whether it's just living in general, and move forward. And that's the way I perceive it all. Yes. I basically promised her that I will always love her, and it's true, I do. I still love her. But however, I am not in love with her since that's a little different. Due to what she's done, it has killed my romance that me and her had between each other. And that's mainly where I stand. I still love her, but I'm not in love with her.
Mm.
Well, I had it as no secret to her. I was basically like an open book to her. She knows that everything from little details like whether it was her height. I mean, I've always been more fond of the shorter women. There's no secret to that. I've always been fond of the shorter ones just because that's just my preference. However, that along with everything else about her, originally, obviously, she created these perfect personalities that would attract me to her and keep her basically to where she didn't have to worry about me being disinterested at some point. And she kept my attention creating all these things. And it's unfortunate because who knows if they're all real. Till this day, I'm not fully sure they even are. Nope. And I choose not to be due to court situations, since she's considered a witness now.
Hang on. Oh, wait on. She could be still
Nope.
the witness for him. I wonder if at that point, hang
No.
on. I wonder if at that point she was going to be a witness for the prosecution.
Probably.
The way he just spoke about it, it sounded like she might have been the witness for the prosecution then, because he goes, I can't speak about that. I shouldn't speak about that or something because of the situation with the court, because she's considered a witness now. I suppose she's considered a witness now.
Mm.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it's possible that she'd been called by a defense, but I don't know.
Well, you might have betrayed me and turned your back on me, but that's not going to stop me from loving you. I'm always going to love you, whether you want to accept it or not. I'm always going to love you. Even if you don't want to accept that, that's your choice.
Dear.
But if you still want to keep our friendship, we can keep our friendship.
She's not your
I
friend,
just don't
dude.
want nothing any more damaging to get between us than what has already has transpired. If you don't want to be my friend, I'm perfectly okay with that. Just know though that no matter what happens, you always have
No
someone
problem.
that loves
What
you,
am
even
I?
if you never believe that you do. Basically, just let her know that she will always have someone who loves her. I might not be willing to the extreme that I was manipulated to at this
My
point,
name's Hella.
but I still would be willing to do other things for her as long as they're much more smaller than what has happened. Because I'm now in a more cautious position than I originally was before. And now I feel as if she needs to basically really think about what's going on more before she speaks. Because even though she might not be able to get tried for any more charges and so forth, she's basically trying to do what she's trying to do for her public image. When really there are facts out there that aren't very good about her. And that's part of the reason why I only caution her with the way that she perceives herself to the public. Me, I'm just gonna be my real self. I'm not gonna try to perceive myself as someone I'm not. And if the public accepts me that way, they accept me that way. If they don't, well, I'll accept it as if I'm a nobody. That's totally fine with me. I'm humble as they get, so it doesn't bother me.
Mm.
Well, Asperger's syndrome is very well documented, whether it's through studies or even websites dedicated to it. I mean, there's symptoms, I guess you would call, of the actual syndrome. That one of them, ironically, is being gullible to people's opinions uh, very easily, actually, in fact. And uh, I've actually been gullible almost all my life. That is something I will admit. I have been gullible almost all my life. I, I've slowly been getting more and more wise as I age, but um, it's a very slow process due to Asperger's. Since for me, the best way I can describe it is a learning disability. I was in special education while I was growing up, almost throughout my entire uh, high school, elementary, middle school, all those type of years. I was through special education. Originally, they had me listed as a severe form of autism, meaning autism itself, and then they lowered it down to just being a higher functioning form, what's it known as Asperger's syndrome. So, due to the intelligence of those with my disability, we can seem so normal, but yet we still have certain symptoms of it. Like, for example, if I get put under too much pressure, my mind can go blank and I won't know what to say, or other things of that nature. Yeah. I barely knew anything about that part of me until, well, what happened. I mean, the first time I was aware of it and it freaked me out was me being around 14, 15.
Hello? Ah! Uh-oh. Okay. Um, entertain. So yeah, this is very sad. What just happened? Hella is gonna be 2 minutes, and it's been 2 minutes, silly girl. And the video froze.
Years old, and I seen a glimpse of
There we
something in
go.
my eye, and I didn't know what it was. It was just like a glimpse of something in my eye, and then I felt.
Come on. You can find the little spot. It's
Sorry,
there.
sorry. I know what's
Yeah.
going on.
God,
My
you're a
Bluetooth
woman.
popping in and out.
As if what do you call it? A dreadful like feeling came upon me, as if something wasn't right, and it was almost like whatever it was that I noticed in my eye.
Sorry,
It was almost like
guys.
No
something
worries.
knowing
I
and letting me
know.
know that I was to be aware
I
of it
forgive
being
you.
This is a
around.
boomer moment.
And at the time, it was just a dreadful feeling that I didn't understand because I was so young. But uh, I basically tried to get Gypsy to be willing to explore that part of me for me to understand it better without uh, letting it get out of control. And then she, instead of just explored it in a like conditioned way where it wouldn't be out of control, she ended up
Hey.
taking advantage of it. So,
Hey, come here.
uh,
Stop it.
yeah, she ended up
Why not?
angering it more and more, with basically provoking it
Mhm.
that it wouldn't do certain things and so forth.
No
And
worries.
it used it as an advantage.
What for? Oh, thank you.
The only other thing I want to say is that I do have my heart go out to all the Gypsy's family for what happened to their daughter or sister or aunt, and I wish this would have ended in a much less drastic way than it did. But just let everyone know that I appreciate this opportunity and thank you.
No. Okay. So,
Yep, thank you.
I wanted to show you now just something. I've only got a little bit more to feel. Why would it go the other way? Nah. Plus. Only so far you can zoom in. All right. So just saw this on Reddit. So someone's gone and said, I was locked up with Nick Godejohn in 2018. I am a huge advocate for him being released or the same sentence as Gypsy. And someone else has gone, can you tell us his side of events? Do you still keep contact with him? Do you want to read that middle one, this chunk there, Ellie?
Maria. Or the
I emailed him.
one. Maria.
I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? Is that my problem?
That's you. I emailed him because I have a cast of the pod called Voices of an Unaliver. I'm sponsored by BetterHelp and have 31 episodes released. I contacted him and he didn't remember who I was. I tried to jog his memory, but he tried to act like I wasn't in that pod that I referenced. I think he has tons of people reaching out to him.
I'll hear you in a second.
But he didn't realize I was there to help. And can chat please confirm to Hella that they can hear my beautiful, beautiful voice?
Okay, I should be able to hear you now. You're not talking.
Can you hear me now?
I hate you.
I'm a silly bee.
Yeah, thank you, Great Success. Why are you boomering? Are you boomering?
Me?
I can't hear you.
Yes, you can.
Okay. You can hear him? I can hear everything but him.
It's the perfect marriage.
All right. That's really weird because I can hear the video. I just can't.
Can you hear me now?
Dali. Can
Good.
you private chat me, please, Dali?
No,
okay, never mind. All right. You hear everyone fine? Cool.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, I want to read the now I can hear you better.
Really?
Okay. So I want to read, yeah. That's so weird.
I was about to leave the studio.
Yeah. Something very strange. Okay. So sorry everybody. Okay, so I was locked up with Nick Godejohn in 2018. So you read that, did you? I emailed him.
Yeah.
And the last bit?
I watched him maneuver around jail and I conversed with him there. With him here and there. He had.
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna go back. He had, and I've got the next bit. There we go. Some of the harder inmates were coaching him on how to jail. A gang member supposedly did something that Nick should react to, so they had him fight that gang member in a cell away from guards. I remember it was kind of a game for the inmates to make him fight, and the gang member beat him up, but I watched and he was not really doing complete damage on the kid. He kind of just beat on him lightly, but just watching the way that they made him react was sad. Oh,
I mean, yeah, but in that environment, it sounds like they took pity on him in some weird jail way. I mean, it's barbaric from our standards, but they aren't like just beating the crap out of him. They're trying. I don't know. It's he could have had it a lot worse, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying I like it, obviously, but
no, I don't know. All right, so something that I wanted to show you just before we go, and this is the person in chat who supplied me with this. Would you like to be named? You don't have to, but let me know if you do. Just say this was me or not, and I don't even know if you're still here. Okay, so this is interesting. Autistic-made crimes, most Aussie thing I've ever. It's fine. Okay, so still Nat, thank you very much for bringing this to my attention. And no, it's not an Aussie thing, Haiti. So still Nat brought this to my attention, and I thought I'd just share it with everybody. And might even look at a case that still Nat pointed out is really also along these same lines. So autistic-made crimes, no, as far as I know, I don't think it's got anything to do with Aussies. However, it does sound very Aussie. I will give you that. And hey, Haiti, how's it going? So autistic-made crimes, this whole idea of getting someone of sound mind, when I say sound mind, like not affected by autism, or any other supposed disorder, and I think, read it in a minute, and then getting someone on board who has autism and is easily influenced to do the crime for you. It's got a name. It's this, right? So I'm just going to read you a little bit of it. What is an autistic-made crime, and what can we do about them? So Jerry is autistic, and like most people, wanted to make a little money with a side hustle. She had an acquaintance who presented a short-term, low-cost business opportunity with big payouts. Jerry's new business partner talked her into adding her name onto Jerry's personal bank account before she was told it would be easier to make quick investment decisions to maximize profits. Because they only agreed to a small amount of money as a total investment, Jerry agreed. Over time, her new business partner withdrew money for small things that were somewhat related, but those withdrawals eventually were being used for personal reasons by her business partner. Over the course of the year, over $5,000 was taken by her partner. She lamented her poor luck in business to another longtime friend who informed her that she was likely being taken advantage of. The police were notified. Jerry's story ended up with a somewhat happy ending. She was able to get all her money back with the help of a detective friend because Jerry was considered vulnerable due to her autism diagnosis. However, Jerry suffered serious emotional pain and now has difficulty trusting others. An autistic-made crime occurs when someone becomes a friend or acquaintance of an autistic individual and then purposefully takes advantage of or bullies them in some way. So that's this thing, right? Examples may include, but are not limited to, getting an autistic person to commit a crime, engage in a risky drug or substance use behaviors, engage in sexual behaviors, lend or spend money on a person, give away their things to other people that they really don't want to give away, let others in their home to live or party, give rides, or feel pressured in any way. Now, think about this. Actually, now that these things are being brought to my attention, I can think of times in my life when there's been people around who clearly are mentally disabled in some way, most likely on the autism spectrum, and there have been other people around who have taken advantage of them in some way. Maybe in one of these ways.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much I've seen them commit a crime, but some of these other ways, yeah. Isn't that interesting? I never thought
Yeah.
about it like that. This is probably more common than we think.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. Isn't that really interesting? So thank you, Silnat, for bringing that to my attention and all of our attention. Isn't that interesting? On one 2015 study by the autism advocacy group Autism Together reported that 100% of autistic people between 16 and 25 years old have a hard time telling true friends from those who bully or abuse them. This shocking finding is in line with what I discovered when interviewing autistic individuals. Okay, so they have friendship motivations. Many autistic individuals find it difficult to make and keep friends, a challenge that they may have experienced since childhood. They are highly motivated to make and keep friends. They may be highly motivated to make and keep friends. Executive functioning challenges. Executive functioning has severe components to it and is often problematic for those with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I've often seen ADHD as co-occurring diagnosis with autism. Okay, so this is interesting. Now, there was a case, and I'm going to have to end the stream shortly, but yeah, there was a case that Silnet also brought to our attention, and I might look at it next week. But which this Haiti? Oh my God! So what Gypsy did to Nick is called this. Yeah. Autistic-made crime. Yo. Hello. Or they want to get out of prison free card. Look, I don't know, right? So I'm one of these people who must investigate things, right? And I'm really open to being convinced either way. I don't think he wants to get out of prison free or jail free card. You know why? Because he has said several times that he deserves to pay his debt to society. He deserves to be in prison. He said it. He said that it's fair that he's in prison. But he's also said that there is some things wrong with the story that's out there. That people believe something that isn't true about what happened. And he also said that he thinks it should be a bit more even in comparison to the way he's treated with Gypsy. So I don't think it's unfair for there to be for him to question that. I don't know, like considering the facts of the case as it stands, I don't know whether life without parole was the correct sentence. I don't think that's a get out of jail free card.
Mm-mm.
I don't think that in this instance anyway. But I'm only talking about this case.
Yeah.
It's just this case, only this case, and from what I've seen in this case. But I'm open to all opinions. I really am, and I respect you, and I'm glad you're in chat because I like to have discussions. I don't just like to have like the same opinions and the same thoughts put out there all the time. And yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. All right. Anyway, it's time to finish up for today. Hope to see you again next time. Ice Cream's here. Yes, that is the home belt. It's probably the last time he's going to be here because it's winter now. Or not winter, autumn. Fall, as you guys call it. Yeah. All right. So we're going to be on Sean Potentially Criminal's stream tonight to watch the trial of Chili De Castro. So we'll see you over there because it's going to be nuts. And yeah, see you Thursday night for Zachariah Anderson, and on the weekend for Here Safer Days, and then back here again for this one. Same time, same channel, 6:30 p.m. Eastern for the Nick Godejohn Story. It's been awesome, guys. Love you all so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Press the like button on your way out and tell your friends. All right. Bye.
Godspeed, you meddling kids.
Godspeed. Godspeed. No.